welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in as always. And today I have a bit of a surprise for you, as it was a surprise for myself. I did not know that they were going to be releasing a new summer pod. I really thought that they were just going to be doing the coconut flavor over ice, but this one, as you can see in this very bright yellow box, is the Sunny Almond Vanilla Over Iced in the Barista Creations line. It's a virtual pod, and it's supposed to be a new double espresso pod, likely a summer release, like I said. So that was something that I saw on the website. I saw that they released the coconut flavor over ice, checked out the Nespresso website, and all of a sudden I saw this on there. I don't know why they didn't send an email about it. So if you haven't noticed that they released it, let's see if it's worth buying. But generally, it says, why we love it. The smooth and refreshing taste of Sunny Almond Vanilla Over Ice takes us on a Mediterranean summer cruise. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Our light roast blend of Arabicas anchors the season's sun-kissed flavor in a coffee made for ice. All you ice gals like myself, it's gonna be a time. It's specifically crafted by Nespresso. This one brings shades of sunny almond and a glow of sweet vanilla to your summer. It's best served as one coffee capsule over a cup full of ice cubes. And to extend the treat, top it off with cold water or cold milk. So I guess it's supposed to be kind of like a cold or iced Americano or an iced latte. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of feeling it as an iced latte. We'll see if I want to do it in an Americano style. Maybe I'll try doing that first, and then maybe I will brew another one as like a latte, or maybe I'll just add some half and half to that iced Americano and do it kind of like a iced coffee, but we'll see. I'm very intrigued to try this out. Again, it's a double espresso, so I say we get into it. This one's kind of bent. I'm gonna pick a different one because that one's kind of all dented on the top of it. But this pod kind of, okay, one, it's gorgeous, right? But two, it looks kind of like a little beach ball. It looks kind of cute. It's very, very summery. Again, it has the little logo, the little name of the pod on the back, says it's fluid ounces, all that fun stuff. Let's brew it, give it a smell and a taste. One, really liking this color. I think it's going to be a nice light roasted pod. That's the hope. And two, when it was brewing, it smelled very like malty and kind of like weedy bready. So I am really excited for it. I bet that this would taste really good with one of those vanilla almond biscottis. Ooh, that would be really good. I'll have to buy some, but let's give it a smell and a taste. Wow. It literally smells like one of those biscottis, guys. It smells like sweet almond and vanilla. I know, crazy, right? No espresso doing their job. Okay, I'm really excited for this. You guys know I go back and forth on the almond flavor, but I think if it's executed really well, it tastes just really amazing. So I am excited to try this. Let's do it. Wow. That's very bright, very acidic because it's very light roasted. That's understandable. I do get a lot of that almond flavor and a little bit of that vanilla too. So I think they did a really good job with this pod. I'm very impressed. Ooh. I honestly think, again, I'm not a super big fan of almond, but I do think that this is a nice one. This is a nice little mix of like sweet but also floral, and just a really nice light pleasant cup. It is a little bit acidic on its own. Like I said, it does make me pucker a little bit, but generally I feel like it's very true to what the box says, which, you know, sometimes I struggle to get all of the notes, and or, you know, I don't think, just because this pod is going to be heavily packaged and processed and all that fun stuff before it gets to the consumer, I think the coffee sometimes loses a lot of its quality, unfortunately. It's just the nature of what happens when you're dealing with bigger brand coffee and coffee beans, and it's pre-ground, of course. So all of those factors go into the quality and the taste that you get when you're brewing it in an espresso machine like this. But I do think with all those factors considered, they did a pretty good job at like flavoring the coffee and making it taste true to what the box says. So for that reason, just like this, I think I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I do think I would buy this pod again just for kind of the fun little novelty of it. I think it's going to be like a nice sweet summer treat. And you know, if any of you are traveling and you have access to an espresso machine, I think this would be such a cute pod to just take with you and make like fun little iced lattes with. But speaking of iced lattes, I think I'm actually going to try it true to its flavor. I'm going to do a sweet almond and vanilla iced latte. So we will make that and we'll be back at you with that sort of review. Okay, y'all, here she is, beautiful in her glory. Again, made a almond vanilla iced latte. I made it with the unsweet vanilla almond milk because I thought it would be kind of appropriate for this drink. As you guys could see from the recipe, I used this sugar-free almond syrup. You can also see that it hasn't gotten that many uses, unfortunately. So I was very eager to try and get this almond syrup out of my cabinet. I think it's a, you guys know, when I reviewed this syrup, it was kind of always made the bottom of my list. It does come in handy for recipes like these, the out of the blue recipes that I think would go really well with this. So let's see how it actually tastes. Y'all, this iced coffee, this iced latte, I should say, is so good. If you like yours a little bit creamier, I would recommend soy milk or oat milk, if that's your vibe. I actually really like it with the almond milk. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with putting almond milk in my lattes. It really just depends on the type of latte I'm going for that day. This one suits it really, really nice, probably because of the flavor profile, but usually I'm one to put like soy milk or something in my coffee just because I do like creamier lattes, and I think that the thickness of those milks really just makes it on top of the game when it comes to iced lattes. But this is actually really good. Again, I'll have the recipe down in the description below. But I do recommend it like this. I think it would go really well with just vanilla syrup as well, so you don't have to go out of your way to buy an almond syrup. You can keep it very, very plain. You know, use vanilla, even use caramel, I think would go really good with this. Or even like a white chocolate syrup, I think would go really, really well with this as well. But speaking of recipes, I think I'm gonna try it as an iced Americano as well. I'm gonna brew another pod. Don't worry, me and TJ are gonna drink them, okay? But I am gonna brew another one to do kind of like over iced with the same syrups, just to see how that compares to having it in a creamier iced latte. Okay, so I made it in more of an Americano style beverage. I brewed the pod right over the syrup that I just talked about, the sugar-free vanilla and sugar-free almond that I had just on hand. Again, you don't have to use these syrups. Use whatever you have on hand that you think would complement this, whether it be sugar-free or not. But that's how I did it. And I just brewed it right over ice and added some cold water after to the top of this. So I'm guessing that would be about 4 ounces or so of cold water, just because I did put a lot of ice in it so it wouldn't melt too much and it would chill the pod. Because you say you can do it right over ice, at least according to the box. So let's give it a try. I'll preface this by saying this is not my preferred way to have it. You guys know this. If you're new to the channel, that's why I'm saying this. I'm not usually one to just drink it without any cream or without any milk. That's just my personal preference. Everybody has their own, right? And so just know that maybe my view of this Americano or something, I try to do it very objective, knowing that I'm not really like a plain Americano person, but just knowing that your taste and preference for this might depend on your own preferences. So let's give it a try. Y'all, dare I say it, I eat my words a little bit, because I actually like this more than I like more than I like my latte recipe, which is very, very surprising to me because that is just not who I am. That is not who I am, Your Honor. But I'm actually very shocked at how much I like this. I think that in trying this without the syrup off camera, that over ice, of course, the smell dissipates a lot of the aromas that I was initially, you know, tasting and smelling when I had the pot hot. Those have dissipated a little bit over ice, but I do think that the sugar-free vanilla and almond syrup that I added really helps accentuate that flavor that the pot is supposed to have. Just smelling it right now with the syrup and over ice and with the water, I don't really smell a lot of that like biscuity sweet aroma like I was before. So definitely just like give it a try, or at least give it a sniff when it's hot and stuff like that. But generally speaking, I think that it's very acidic, warm, but very, very pleasant over ice, which I'm guessing is why they have the preference for it over ice. So bear that in mind if you're trying the espresso shot like I did before. The acidity and stuff is a little bit off-putting, but again, when I put it over ice like this in an Americano, it's very, very pleasant, very smooth. I get why it's blonde roasted this way, even with that bright acidity when warm. I think that over ice, it's just completely wonderful and beautiful. It makes it so that I don't need to add cream and all that fun stuff to my usual lattes and to my usual, like, you know, iced coffees and stuff. I might feel very differently if it was a very bold espresso or a bold Americano, but I do think that the way it is right now is actually really good. Again, 9 out of 10, and I think that if you haven't tried this pod or were kind of like on the fence about buying it, I think you should treat yourself this summer. I think you should get it, see how it is. And now, if you're not an almond person at all, or a vanilla person, I guess, for that matter, you probably shouldn't buy this at all. But if you are like an almond, vanilla, you know, you like your biscottis, you like your sweet treats, I think that this would be a really good pod for you. And let me know how you guys like it if you end up buying it. But I would highly recommend it for this summer. Treat yourself. Okay, love when that happens on the channel. I'm all for like an underdog coming to succeed in my rating and review. So very pleasantly surprised by the pod. But that is all I have for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed that rating and review. And if you did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everybody's support with the content, with the channel. And again, if you have any recommendations for videos or pods or products you want me to try, please let me know. I'd be happy to do that. And I'm so excited to catch you back here in the next couple of weeks with another video. Bye, guys.